What up, dirty baby? Let me know if you can hear me in the chat. Oh boy, let me tell you something. We got some interesting stuff to talk about tonight. Interesting things. It's Thursday. It doesn't feel like a Thursday. When you go to see a movie on a Thursday, all of a sudden that Thursday starts feeling like a Friday. Let's see. So I think the game plan is to come on, baby, get in there. That's what she said. Game plan, of course, is we're going to talk about Fantastic Four First Steps. As I said, this is the new one out right now. Just debuted this evening. We're going to talk about it a little bit. But we're going to do spoiler free and everything, so you don't have to worry about having that as a problem. Not going to get that here, but the cool part is you'll be able to get that full spoilerific talk for Fantastic Four on HMP proper on Sunday evening. So check us out there. And as always, the best way to do that is make sure that you're liked, subscribed, and that you ring that bell notification and everything, because when you do that, you know what that does? That lets you know when we're live. Look at me. I'm bouncing all over the place. I don't know where the hell I'm going with all these. But yeah, definitely do that. We really appreciate it. That's going to be the funnest time is when we're all kind of in talking about this movie, because I think, especially with all of the Fantastic Four films that we've seen this past month here for the show and everything, I am thank God I can turn that off. This is an amazing way to end it. I'll just start with saying that. But yeah, just do me a big old giant favor, hit that like and subscribe button and all the other good stuff, man. So appreciate you. Thanks for coming and hanging out again. We're going to just do everything spoiler free here. I'm just going to kind of give my generalized opinions on Fantastic Four and whether or not you should see this. And this, of course, is coming from an actual Fantastic Four fan. I know there's a lot of folks out there who, you know, maybe the extent of their Fantastic Fourness and everything is the kind of movies that have been out, your Tim Story movies, the Josh Trank movie, perhaps even the 1994 Fantastic Four movie. Maybe that was your bag. It's not. That's no one's real bag. But this so leading up to this, man, we've been going uphill the entire time. So I was interested and I kept away from everything. I'm so very, very proud of myself. I saw the teaser trailer, which of course my reaction to that will be on that's on this website. I did that on YouTube rather. I did that a couple months back when they first debuted that teaser trailer and everything. I watched that just to kind of get a flavor, just to say, like, what are they doing here? Is it going to tempt me in any way to watch this movie? And it did. That was really, really exciting. And so I was super pumped to do it. And I was like, all right, this is great. I don't need to see any more. And I didn't watch any trailer after that. I just kind of I ignored everything. And let me tell you, especially the last couple days on social media, it has been damn near impossible to not hit a Fantastic Four ad. They are pushing it hardcore. And I'm here to tell you, there's probably a good reason why. Life on the Pitch. I watched the video. I want to see. I will put that in in my next TikTok Trash Tuesdays. I'll put that on that one just because I'm doing the back half of the last TikTok Trash Tuesday that we did this Tuesday. That only lasted for the whole podcast was the whole live stream was 2 hours, and we only got through like half of the videos that I had uploaded. So yeah, boy likes to yap, as you've kindly seen these last 5 minutes here. So, like I said, what I want to do, we're going to talk the Fantastic Four First Steps, spoiler free, just a quick little how do you do. And then we'll just kind of kick it off the rest of the evening and making some fun of people on TikTok and stuff so I can use those things later for other things to try to grow my small little empire here. And again, we can do all of that because you guys hit that like and subscribe button and all that kind of good stuff. So thank you so much for that. Appreciate you. Let's get into it. Here's the IMDb plot line for the Fantastic Four. As we know, IMDb always 100% correct in everything they say and or do. Forced to balance their roles as heroes with the strength of their family bond, the Fantastic Four must defend Earth from a ravenous space god called Galactus and his enigmatic herald, Silver Surfer. This is directed by Matt Shankman, written by 58 people. I think if I watch it again, I'm going to find out, like, because I'm serious, when there's a lot of and ampersands, and like there's a screenplay that's kind of like that, then there's a story that's like that. So it's a little bit all over the place and everything. But Matt Shankman, of course, you guys will probably know from an unbelievable amount of television stuff that he's done over the years. You name a giant show, he's probably directed that at some point or another. Most recently of which I believe, unless he's done something else, but recently he did the WandaVision show. He did many of those programs as well. So he's got a good knack of getting good performances, Matt Shankman. And so I was kind of excited to see what we're going to go with all of this. So this is, of course, starring Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Evan Moss Baccarat, Joseph Quinn, Ralph Inman, and Julie Garner. You know, the fucking shit girl. Is that what her? Oh, and Natasha Lyonne. I forgot about her as well. Yeah, man. So I like I said, I went into this movie with the lowest of low expectations. I was not excited. I mean, I was excited in as much as I wanted to see a Fantastic Four movie. I want so very, very badly for it to be a good movie. And as we've seen on H&P proper this month, it's been quite difficult for them to produce a decent Fantastic Four film. But this time, I'm here to tell you, boys and girls, they did it. They did it. I don't want to say I wanted to hate it, but I was ready to hate it. I was ready to tear it apart. But it does not need tearing apart. It's as close as we've ever gotten to what I would call an actual true representation of the Fantastic Four. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that we are the ones who did it, but for those of you longtime Hero Movie Podcast listeners, you know that for years, and I mean like seriously, our show we've been doing this show for a decade, and we've said it for at least the past 5 to 6 years that the Fantastic Four movie, if and when they ever decided to do it, should take place in the 60s. And again, I'm not saying that they listened to our show and followed what we did, but we said that shit and it happened. So I'm taking credit. It was so like when they announced that was the case and we're like, hey, we're doing it in the 60s and everything, it was like, oh, this is crazy. And when you watch that teaser trailer, which is all I would recommend anyone do, is they had the visual style down to a T. It was unbelievable. Just the art direction on this movie itself. I want the coffee table book, because whenever they put a coffee table book out that's got a whole bunch of images and stuff from this, I am so down for that. Let's talk about a couple of things. Pedro Pascal. I think I can ask for a raise of hands. Who's kind of tired of Pedro Pascal? We've all seen him so many times now. God knows he's in everything. And listen, I don't begrudge anyone for getting a job, getting that bag, and doing what they can while the getting is good. You know, Pedro has actually been in the film and television industry for quite some time. If you'll remember, he actually played what was his role on the Wonder Woman television pilot that was canceled? You remember that? He was in that show. Was he the bad guy? I friggin' forget. But he was in that. So like the guy's been in the business for quite some time, and he's doing well for himself. That's great. But I have been sick and tired of seeing him in every damn thing I've seen. Like I just saw him last week in Eddington. You know, I mean, he's good in that. He's good in the stuff. But I think a lot like with Jennifer Lawrence, it's going to end up being like, we need a break, dog. We need a break. Just like Don't do anything for a little bit. Give us a reason to miss you, man, and then come back with a vengeance and then be like, oh, all right, cool. But man, oh man, again, I think I went in with the biggest of chips on my shoulders for Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic, because when you look at Mr. Fantastic, he's supposed to be just about damn near, if not the smartest man in the Marvel universe. That guy's supposed to be a genius. Have you seen Pedro Pascal? He's the guy in the what you call it, the Corona ads. You know, he's the guy sitting on the beach having a good old, having a cold one. Which I appreciate. Good job, but I didn't go like, that's the smartest man right there. But I gotta tell you, he did it. He did it. Pedro Pascal, in my shockest of all shocks, actually embodied what Reed Richards was supposed to be. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable how much I actually was like, wow. They wrote the character correctly, numero uno. But secondly, he just did a fantastic job. I thought, I felt that he was a smart guy, and everybody that I surround him with is awesome as well. You got Vanessa Kirby there as Sue Storm, the Invisible Girl, but they're married and everything. She's great. She's great. She's got. She doesn't have a ton. She's got enough to do. She's got enough to do and enough kind of emotional stuff and everything, but it works. She works really, really well. Johnny, I think Johnny will probably split some people. The only small complaint that I have for Johnny is more or less, I think that he should have just he tells us, right? Because we get to the point and there's no, again, this is no spoilers here, but the Silver Surfer comes in. It's a lady this time, as you guys have seen. Even if you watch the teaser trailer, you realize, all right, there's a Silver Surfer. It be a lady. Which is fine. Would I have preferred it to be a dude? Sure. But do I much care that it's a lady? Not particularly. I mean, it doesn't it's the same basic, Herald of Galactus story, and we just don't call it the same name. It's the same premise though. Where was I going with this? Yeah, she was fine. She was fine in this. I just lost track figuring out where things are and looking at the chat as well. Jack says he was in everything because well, maybe listen, I ain't saying you're wrong. I have very often said who does Pedro have dirt on because he's getting into everything, and it makes me think that he's just got I got dirt on you, I got dirt on you, I got dirt on you. So wouldn't be shocking. So Johnny mentions how that's where I was going. Johnny mentions how he's into ladies, he's into space, and he's into ladies. Ergo, you must have some sort of connection to this lady, to the Silver Surfer lady here and everything. But we don't see him interact enough with ladies, in my opinion. I wish we had that kind of just a little bit more charisma coming out of him, a little bit more of the ladies kind of fawning over him at some point. He's good. He's good enough, though. There's weird bits of me that when I look at him, I kind of see a young Freddie Prinze Jr. Yeah, and saying that may make you see that, not see it. I think it's because of the brown eyes and the blonde hair and stuff like that. Where I just think of I just think of him in the Scooby-Doo movie, and this has a little maybe a little bit of that going for it. But Eben Moss-Baccarat as the Thing, frigging fantastic! What a great choice. It'll take you a second to get used to the voice because you're like, is this what we're really doing with the voice? But you get used to it real quick, which is nice. That's what you want. He's great. The CGI for the Thing is great. He finally looks like the Thing, which makes me so excited. I was just like, when you saw if you watched the trailer reaction, you saw my face. That was genuine surprise and joy at how good the Thing looked. I was just blown away and continued to be blown away when watching this movie. They get all of his styling right, the style of all the clothes and everything that he wears. It's just so good. Love it. And what I'm not gonna, gosh, there's so many things I want to say, but I'm not going to say them because I don't want to spoil things for you. But it is a lot of fun. There's so much kind of awesome iconography that if you are a Fantastic Four fan, it is just a treat. It is a treat to see things, and you're looking and you're just like, this is essentially frames from classic FF. It's so awesome. I don't even want to spoil who who else is in this thing as well. I mean, you guys know Silver Surfer and a Galactus thing is coming. The Galactus stuff is done very well. Thank God we have a man and not like not a cloud, not a big old giant dust cloud and everything. So thank God. But I gotta say, overall, it was kind of good. They leaned into the intelligent stuff again, which is great. Because you're working with a very smart crew here, and they don't leave Johnny as a dum-dum, which is nice. He has a moment in where he's just trying to decipher some things that the Herald said and whatnot. So they don't make Johnny like the kind of dumb burnout that maybe that you didn't look at Chris Evans' Johnny in that Fantastic Four movie and go like, oh, that guy's a brilliant dude. You go like, that's Johnny. He rides his dirt bike and whatnot. This guy doesn't look like he rides his dirt bike at all, but definitely looks like he could kind of put together a couple of things. And it makes sense. It makes sense, certainly also for the time and everything, but a lot of fun. Michael Giacchino's score is pretty good for the most part. There are moments of lulls in it and everything, but I think you're going to get a very earwormy Fantastic Four, all that stuff. You're gonna hear that, and that's gonna be stuck in your head for a little bit. And it's not bad. You could do a lot worse than that. But Shackman puts together a movie that has just a lot of heart in it, and it has just the right amount of comedy. It just has the right amount of seriousness, and you buy everything that's going on. Oh, I didn't mention Herbie. Should have forgot. Oh man, Herbie is fantastic, dude. Herbie's the little robot and everything. Designed awesome. I want a little version of that for the house. 100%. Please give me a little Herbie to have around, please. I like how they've got like a kind of like it's like data tapes or whatever in his head where you see his eyes going and everything. And so while he's around the house, he's got this one thing in, and when they need to take him out to the ship and whatnot, they take that memory thing out. So he's got kind of an empty face, puts the new one in, the eyes go shook, 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 and then he knows all the things for flying on the ship and whatnot, as opposed to sitting around and cleaning the house. Great little fun character there and everything. That'll be their BB-8, if you will. Sell a lot of things with that. And I did see I think it was the cover of like Home and Garden that they made up for that, which I thought was really, really cool. Let's see. Without spoiling things and everything, I will say I just had a really great time. I was shocked at how much I enjoyed it. We will talk full spoilers and everything on HMP proper on Sunday evening live and everything. So come join us in the chat after you've all seen that and everything. But man, it is so good. It is so good. I am probably going to see it again before the podcast and everything. That's how much I kind of enjoyed it, and then it's kind of just pinballing around in the back of my mind. I can't wait to talk about all the spoilers, because there's spoilers to be had. But I will say this: definitely stay for the mid credits. You will 100% want that, and because that certainly, as you might imagine, as is per the Marvel usual and everything, it's that leads right into the next thing. You don't have to watch the end. It's a little bit fun. The after credits, it's non-consequential in any way, shape, or form. It's just a little bit of a fun thing. But if you don't want to see a necessarily like a little bit of a 30-45 second little fun thing, you can skip that. But if you're like, oh, I only want things that are going to be impactful. But I know who you nerds are. You're gonna go watch all of it, aren't you? Aren't you nerdy ass nerds? Come on now. So yeah, that's my recommendation. I didn't want to talk too awful long about it, but I did want to get people to kind of rest assured a little bit, man. Because I was unsure. I was unsure of everything. I was just like, dude, if they make Reed kind of crappy and dumb, I'm gonna be mad and because there were reports, dude. There were reports that's like, oh, Sue's the one who does all the stuff. She's like, they're making her the smartest one, and they don't. Which is great. It's like, you don't have to do that. Don't do things that you don't need to do, and that's something that you don't necessarily need to do. It's they didn't do anything that was out of the box. I don't think not in a bad way, at least. Yeah, I don't want to talk too much about it. We'll talk about it full spoilers and everything on HMP proper. But I would definitely recommend you guys go out this weekend and check out Fantastic Four First Steps. And it's one of those things, like, as it was going, I was just like, I didn't even think about the first steps part. I'm such a ding dong dilly. Oh, but I do want to say this. This is a good thing. You don't have to wait through an origin story. Isn't that lovely? They've been the Fantastic Four for 4 years. All right. They get you a little backstory and everything. It's exactly what you want. Again, we don't need to see another one, but they do it in this great kind of like, because we're in the 60s, it's showing you this kind of like 16 millimeter behind the, scenes with them getting all suited up. It looks like NASA and whatnot. Really, really cool. That's the way you do an origin story. You get through it and everything. The people in the community all know the Fantastic Four and love them and stuff like that. And just a really great time. And what they're going to be doing in the future is I'm at least looking forward to it now. I will certainly say that. So that is Fantastic Four First Steps, out in theaters this weekend. Go check it out, says I. Let's check out the chat. Animal says, I just watched it. It was amazing. Wasn't it? I was astounded, dude. I went in. Maybe it's just because of the unbelievably low expectations that I had, but blown away. Blown away at what, and then I didn't watch anything, man. I didn't watch any of the trailers. I didn't see anything outside of that teaser. And I only watched that teaser literally for those 2 watches that I did for the video. That was it. I didn't watch anything after that because I was just like, how am I gonna improve things by watching it? I'm not. No way, shape, or form. Are you real? I feel like I'm real sometimes. Sometimes I'm real sad. That's a depression joke, kids. Well, who wants to do some more TikTok trash? Because I think we got some. I think we got some that we can do. Let me scroll through, because we got through about half of them last night. That was a decent little measure, I thought. All right, let me see what we got. I'm gonna show what we're gonna pull out for you, boys. It's wild though, having seen the movie then on a Thursday, that I'm like, what do I do Friday, Saturday, Sunday? See it again. Because that's what he do. That's what he do. That's not the one I want. Whoop.
Harold Yorian.
I like this chick. She's from Appalachia. And come on, damn it. Which one of these works? One of these is going to be the right button. Did I set any of these up previous before the show? Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. Yikes. All right. Lordy. Give me just a sec here. Let me fix all this. If I get copy struck for that, I'm going to be pissed. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Oh. She's just doing her country accent and heralding Galactus.
I herald Galactus.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, let's get back into it, everybody. We got about halfway through on Tuesday night. Join me Tuesday evenings for TikTok Trash Tuesdays, where I go to TikTok and take all the movie-related TikToks that I can find, and I put them together, and I go ahead and kind of roast some people. We do some stuff that's funny. We do some stuff that's serious, and maybe a little bit heartfelt at the same time as well. Maybe that's a bunch of bull crap that I just told you. But what we're going to do is we're going to watch some things and, leech off other people's material, make fun of it, and hopefully have some fun at the exact same time. Who's on board? Let's go!
What's your go-to punk rock song?
Well, okay. James Gunn, punk rock stuff. Here's the difference. Me, I'm like I'm a 90s punk rock guy just because that's when I grew up, And so all of my punk guys were like, from like your early, maybe really mid 90s, early-ish mid 90s, and on up. That's like Epitaph Records era and stuff like that. That's my punk era. So he's going to say some old shit for sure.
Punk rock's my thing. So
don't say that. Don't say things like that. Yeah, like that reminds me of like when I'm listening to the punk station on Sirius XM, and they're just like, whenever there's an intro, it's usually from a like a current band or whatever, a current-ish band, and they get in and they're like, "What punk rock means to me is like, man, the second you got to start telling me what punk rock is, that's the most unpunk rock thing. Shut your mouth and move on." That's oh my word.
Pat Rash by Jeff Rosenstock, or going a little bit more old school, Bodies by the Sex Pistols.
All right, listen. All right, at least he chose like Bodies. Bodies is decent in comparison to some other stuff, but I look, Sex Pistols are overrated. I think everybody agrees with that.
But maybe the one that's the most is Going Underground by The Jam.
See, I knew he'd be like all into like kind of proto punk and stuff like that. I knew it wouldn't be like kind of, I knew James Gunn wasn't going to be dropping the Casualties or something like that, or like maybe if he felt cool, maybe like Dead Milkmen or something like that. But like, I don't even think he'd be doing something like that.
That's
huge. I'm such a Jam fan. That's
they're my favorite band. Recently I went through all my liked songs on Spotify. The songs I had the most by of any.
Well, that tells you everything you need to know, doesn't it? James Gunn is on the Spotify. Hey.
Artist was Paul Weller.
Weller takes it. Did you see him live recently?
I would have loved to.
He's so good.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this subliminal thing they're putting in there? That's crazy.
And he's like,
I don't like that.
He's in his 60s, 70s.
Paul,
and he's doing like a 2-hour set.
Paul Weller sitting out songs.
What is happening here? I'm not like, I didn't drop anything, did I? What's going on?
Good as when he was doing the Jam, like every year, like these other guys for the most part aren't putting out the same high quality music. But he's got an album coming out every year that's still as good as that early stuff.
Yeah.
I hope this makes it onto
your show. I will make sure it does.
Yeah.
Hey, whoever this is, what the hell is this edit, dude?
Okay.
Oh yeah. What next?
What the fuck happened to movie theater etiquette?
Amen, my brother. Amen. I had an incident this evening. Now, I didn't do anything about it because it didn't get out of control or anything, but certainly the family behind me and then the family behind them, loud, talkative dum-dums. Now, again, granted, they were quiet for the most part because people were fairly enthralled with the movie, which was a good thing. But yeah, man, it's my one, well, it's one of my many complaints about movie theaters. And again, this comes from someone who used to manage a movie theater. So believe you me, I know the pain.
In probably the last year and a half, I've had to walk out of more movies because of a bad audience than I think I've ever had to walk out of in my life. Fucking go get my money back and leave. This last year, I've had to walk out of a showing of Sinners, 28 years later, and also Nosferatu.
Jeez, crow. That's a rough run there, man. And those are pretty good flicks. So, shoosh. And you had to walk out of all of those. What a bummer, dude. Especially like depending upon where you live and how far you got to go. That could just ruin your day, dude.
I don't know where the etiquette of being in a movie and
Gone.
what it's supposed to be went. I think it's one of those things we lost during COVID for some people.
No, it was gone way before COVID, buddy. Way before COVID. Honestly, I think one of the biggest things is the invention of not the invention of, but the proliferation of the smartphone. I think the proliferation of the smartphone is the reason why movie theaters are as bad as they are, because I think all of these things feed into each other in one way, shape, or form, ultimately making narcissists who believe that they are the only ones and everyone else is there just basically as an NPC to them.
I don't know. Maybe I'm in the minority here, and this is just the new attitude surrounding it. Let me know.
It shouldn't be. I don't know why I cut off like that. It shouldn't be the norm. It should be something that we damn and scream at all of the time. And here's what I invite every single one of you to do. Not in a mean and confrontational way, but what I call it the Hank Hill method. You may remember when Bobby asked Hank, is like, what do we do if somebody wants their steak well done? And Hank says, we ask them politely yet firmly to leave. That's how you have to approach people at the movie theaters. Calmly, but politely and firmly tell them to shut the up. That's what you do. But in a nice way.
James Gunn's Superman is now out in theaters, and I'm going to be honest and really straightforward with this. I love DC, but this is not Superman.
Yikes. 2.5. All right. Well, let's see where you're going with this, sister, because that was not a 2.5-star movie. I believe we gave it 4 stars, or at least I certainly did.
Man, this is just a dude named Clark Kent, and a dude that gets beat up a lot.
Okay, first and foremost, he spends so very little time in this movie as Clark Kent. How can you say that with full confidence? It's like, oh yeah, he's this Clark Kent. That's not what's happening. He was Superman 98% of the damn time. And even with his Clark, he was kind of all over the place. It's just like, why does he sound like this one time? And then this, like, I don't know. He's all over the joint. But he wasn't Clark for much at all. Come on.
Like, honestly, so much where he doesn't feel like he's doing anything. There was one point.
You're not doing anything, bro. What do you want him to do? Tap dance?
Where he was actually in a battle and like trying to find a humane way to solve the problem. It was like getting mad at everybody for solving the problem. And I'm like, Superman, it's not like you're doing something and trying to solve the problem. You're just like musing and trying to save like a squirrel, literally a squirrel. People are dying around him, but he saved the squirrel, so everything's good. He's Superman, right? Like,
do you know who James Gunn is? James Gunn would rather save a squirrel than most humans, I would imagine. That's just a thought.
The whole thing was about kindness, but I didn't get good guy, kind energy from him. Like, yeah, he saved a squirrel, he saved a dog. Okay, whatever. He saved one person. But like, how he treated
this girl be taken out of like a burning building. She'd be like, yeah, but what'd you do for me yesterday?
People in his relationships was not a kind dude. Another thing that was wrong was just like, Jimmy Olsen never had a camera. Like, not once did the man have a camera. So
it's fair critique. No cell phone, no nothing. Very fair critique.
I was really confused about why he was this He's a photojournalist, guys. He's a photojournalist. Like, yes, he's a journalist, but he uses a camera. Like, just stupid stuff like that. Lois Lane, she was whatever. Their relationship didn't really make any sense. And for a movie that was trying not to have an origin story, it was basically just an origin story kind of movie. And it really destroyed. It
wasn't an origin story. It was a year 3 story. Somebody wasn't paying attention.
Jor-El and Laura and just their relationship and the relationship with Superman to make it seem like they were some like villainous people. The plot, stupid and.
I mean, like, listen, I wasn't a huge fan of the parents reveal there and everything. I thought that was kind of like, I get why you do it, but whatever.
Almost non-existent. Truly don't watch.
Yeah, why don't you suck on it, James Gunn? Let me see what the box office. Hold on. Superman current box office total worldwide $432 million. We are knocking on the door of a $500 million over there. So I think they're gonna be okay. That's just a guess. What I heard somebody say, like, Superman could like drop out of theaters tomorrow and it would still be what I don't remember what the rest of the thing was, but it was just like, it's that successful.
Have you ever heard of mass hysteria?
That's hysteria that happens in Massachusetts. Boom, thank you.
It's when a group of people experiences the same psychological illness at the same time. And
like the Macarena?
There are some pretty crazy examples, like the dancing plague of 1518, where...
Why the fuck did I download this video? This isn't movie related yet, but let's see where he's going.
400 people in France began dancing uncontrollably for a month, leading to injuries, exhaustion, and several...
Dance, dance, dance like you done your pants.
Deaths. Or the meowing nuns, where a group of nuns in a French convent couldn't stop meowing like cats until they were threatened by soldiers.
Man, they was playing back then, dude.
The most famous case of mass hysteria is probably the Salem witch trials in Massachusetts, which lasted several years and
it's mass hysteria over there.
Led to the execution of 20...
I can do a better Massachusetts voice than that. I apologize. That was like it went off the rails there really fast. And I mean, like, listen, I got enough friends in the New England area. I should be able to do that better. I apologize. Same thing, listen, I own up to my bad deeds.
People accused of witchcraft. There are modern examples too.
Holy geez whiz, where are we going with this? Why did I pick this video?
Like the June bug epidemic of 1962, where 60 American factory workers all got sick with the same mystery illness that they blamed on a bug, but they never found any bugs. Or the Tanganyika laughter epidemic, where in 1962 up to 1,000 people started laughing uncontrollably in Tanzania, and they had to cancel school for months. And who remembers 2016 when everybody in the US thought they were seeing evil clowns everywhere?
No, but that was real, though. That was real. Those people were killers, dog. You weren't there.
If you know of any...
What the oh, man, I am embarrassed of that one. Stricken that one from the record, everybody. Sorry.
We knew it was going to be divisive. Like it.
But is it divisive or divisive? I ask you. Divisive, divisive. I feel like I could make a case for either.
It's about polarization. It's about division. We tried to pull back as far as we could to have it be about the environment, right? Where kind of everybody is kind of in one way or another missing part of the picture, right?
Exactly. And again, like I've been saying, if you look at Eddington and you're over mad, let me ask you, how do you feel about your behavior in 2020? Most people, I mean, I'm telling you, like my go-to analysis has been, if you hold up a mirror to the audience and the audience doesn't like what it sees, it's going to get mad. Because it sees the thing looking back and it's like, ooh, I don't like that guy.
Nobody's acting in bad faith. Nobody is evil in this.
Did they want to mic anybody up in this joint? Yikes.
Movie. They're just people acting on their own perspective.
Everybody in the...
He is so happy to get on this press tour. He's so stoked. He's like, yeah, I know the camera. I know they can't hear me. I know that the audio is way over there, and that's fine. You don't have to put it near my face. That's okay. I'm just so happy to be here.
The movie cares about the world. Every character cares about the world, knows that something's wrong, has a feeling that something's wrong, but they have different pictures of what that is.
That's the point of the movie, everybody. If you take it otherwise, look inward, I says.
All right, what movie should we watch tonight? I'm thinking a classic like
friend that likes the worst movies. Who has one of those friends? I got a couple. I had a lot of those when I went to film school. There were guys that were just like, they loved trash. I mean trash, dude. Just like their trauma would be their like high level point. That would be good stuff for these dudes.
Goodfellas.
Oh yeah, or like Pitch Perfect.
What?
All right, first and foremost, Pitch Perfect is good. Now, granted, Pitch Perfect 2 is better. Pitch Perfect 3 is not. But that's a good movie. You shut your mouth.
What? Pitch Perfect is good?
Yeah, okay, but it's like not really my vibe right now.
It's not my vibe. What are you trying to make out with me? Is that what we're doing?
Oh, maybe something like Catch Me If You Can. You know what I'm saying? Like
right,
that vibe.
Yeah, I love that.
Or a thriller like The Fugitive.
I didn't kill my wife.
Classic line.
Or Pacific Rim 2.
It's not just Pacific Rim. Pacific Rim 2, which did suck. It was not as good as the first one. So that's so bad when it just goes Pacific Rim 2.
Why the hell would I want to watch Pacific Rim 2?
It's got John Boyega.
You would watch a movie just for John Boyega?
No.
What about Indiana Jones?
I love Indiana Jones.
Okay.
You know where this
Secret
is going.
Life of Pets?
No, what the fuck? No.
What about Pirates of the Caribbean?
Okay, yes.
5.
No!
Listen, I haven't watched a single one of those Pirates of the Caribbean movies to completion, and you know what? Don't care to.
Pitch Perfect 2, but it's not as good as the first one.
No, bullshit. It's better than the first one. That is a load of crap. Pitch Perfect 2, better than Pitch Perfect 1. Also, Step Up 2, The Streets, better than Step Up, but not quite as good as Step Up 3D. That's right. I saw all those movies in the theater. You can kiss my ass. I'm a cineast, damn it.
Why is that even a worry of yours?
Mars Needs Mums. I've been meaning to chuck that one on.
I saw that one. Man, I saw so many bloody movies. It's ridiculous.
You've been meaning to chuck on Mars Needs Mums?
Yeah, or Space Chimps.
Space Chimps?
All right, I got to look up and see if Space Chimps is a thing. Hold on. Holy shit. Space Chimps is a movie from 2008. Oh, I vaguely remember a trailer for this. Andy Samberg's a chimp. That's all you need to know.
Come on, Lachlan, you got to admit, it's a bit of a banger.
Space Chimps was not a banger. I hardly even remember it.
It slapped.
Not in the top 100 kids movies. Or 200.
Oh, and Catch Me If You Can is?
What?
Yeah, the classic kids movie, Catch Me If You Can.
The hell is wrong with you right now?
I just want to watch something comfy and warm, not all serious and thinky.
I've suggested comfort watches.
You haven't suggested Norbert.
Norbert's my comfort watch. I saw Norbert on a plane, of all places. And you know what? Perfect plane movie.
Of course I haven't.
Or Big Mama's House?
Yeah, what the hell?
Now, Big Mama's House 2 is better than Big Mama. No, it's not. I only saw the first Big Mama's House, like the rest of us. Only the true fans saw Big Mama's House 2. There was a third one, but I don't remember what it's called. It had a subtitle.
What?
Or The Nutty Professor?
What a fucking weird subgenre. Why is there so many of them?
Can we watch one of those?
The other guy looks sick, doesn't he? He looks like life turned down the saturation on his face. We'll get back to him in a second. Hold on.
I'd rather fucking experience liver failure.
Oh,
Look at this. It's like Willem Dafoe with the saturation turned down. It's frightening.
right, Lachlan, you don't have to be rude.
Don't be rude. What's next?
What makes a person a good critic? I feel like in a way it's trying to understand and unpack the intentions of the filmmaker and seeing how effectively they convey their perspectives and ideas. And
That can be. It can be, yeah.
that's what's so captivating to me when you try to unpack the mind of the filmmaker versus the mind of the audience. Cinema is a form of expression.
Okay, first of all, don't talk like this. You gotta take this air of pretension out of your vocabulary, dude. It is it's coming out. It's just like it's pouring off of you. Like I think I'm better than everybody. And as an asshole who thinks like he's better than everybody, I can trust me. I can see my kind coming from a mile away. You need to tone that down.
It's communicating feelings without words. And when you view cinema in that way, and
you see, this is the guy that you will run into at the Criterion sale this month over at Barnes and Noble. A guy that's going to break it down to you. Just look at this face and picture that inside of that Barnes and Noble.
your relation to it as an audience member and as a critic puts things into perspective when you're analyzing the intentions of the filmmaker and your experiences as an individual and how those two relate.
I was looking at his fingers. I'm like, I see a ring on there, but that doesn't look like a wedding ring. That's all I'm saying.
And I think being able to unpack that and in a way being able to
I say this as a divorced man, so I can laugh at others. Yes.
transport yourself back to different time periods when you're watching older movies. You get to see how the world worked and how people thought. And
Do you think Casablanca was like the real world worked back then? Is that? I got a news for you. Bringing Up Baby, not a documentary.
different time period and how universal some emotions still are and the staying power of them. And that's powerful. I feel like exploring cinema in that regard and being able to dissect it and being able to communicate how important that is to other people. I think that is.
Look at the Park City, Utah shirt. I've been there, guys. No, I wasn't invited.
It's important to me.
Don't listen. If I ever put Portraits Cast in something like that, you guys have my permission to club me about the head. Spotify is such turds. They be sending me stuff all the time going, we're taking this podcast off the thing because they're like old HMP episodes that got copyrighted music in it. And I was like, at that point, I didn't give a shit. I should have. I should have. I will definitely say that. Okay. Oh God. Okay. I gotta get set for this one. Cause I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna be mad at this one, man. Again, as a former movie theater manager, I hated nothing more than people that just try to blatantly break the rules on a consistent basis. And we got one of these geniuses here sneaking wings into the cinema. Good Lord.
They've been in.
Okay. First of all, let me tell you this, sir. If indeed that you want to sneak in some chicken wings, again, I don't suggest you do that. You're being an a-hole to everyone else in your presence because you're going to break out your food and the essence of said food will waft across the entire plane of the friggin' theater and everyone's going to be pissed because you decided. And then I'm sure that you eat like a real, just real dainty and everything, right? Nope. You're going to be sucking on them bones and everything. I say this because I've seen it happen in movie theaters. I had to steal some Chinese food out of this man's hands one night, and he was just like, "What's the deal?" I'm like, "You brought in an entire plate of Chinese food, my guy. I got to take it from you." He goes, "Well, I'll just throw it away." I go, "I'll throw it away for you." Because, like, are you going to trust this butthole to throw it away? The answer is no, because he's not going to do that. I'll throw it. No, well, I'll just throw it away. No. I'm telling you, this is wild business right here. So let's just say that that's what you're doing. Bringing it in a bassinet here, bringing it a little for the baby. Are you out of your mind, son? What? Sneak it in a purse or something, because you know what's also not allowed at the movie. You know what also is not allowed at the movies outside of food? A baby. That was another thing we had problems with at the theater, man, is people would be bringing in babies. We were not only a movie theater, we were also a movie theater and a restaurant and a bar, right? So we were serving, alcohol, hard alcohol at our establishment and everything. And these people would bring in, I swear to God, a new ass born baby at 10 o'clock tonight, at 10 o'clock at night to watch a horror film. And these people, the people that were there, they didn't even have one of these things, man. They were just holding it. They were just holding a newborn baby and going, "We're going to go see a movie." And nothing wrong with it. No big deal. And to document it all too. That's the other diabolical bit. No one will suspect a baby. Someone should look at you and be like, "What the F is a baby doing in here?" I hope this is parody. I hope it's just them that they like at the theater that they work at or something effing around, and that's fine. But if this is real, you're making me mad. Look at him. Gross ass. Jesus. Now they didn't you noticed there. You notice that they didn't pan up towards the thing. So I don't know if necessarily they were there doing that. So that's my hope. My hope is that this is a bunch of bullcrap. What up, Peter? Sorry, late to the Fantastic Four stuff, but I just left the theater. I was super happy with it. Really liked that it had a lot of had minimum connection to the other films. Absolutely agree with that as well. I was like I said, I too, just to give you a preview of what I kind of previously said there and everything. I really enjoyed it myself. Very, very stoked at how much fun it was. We'll do all the big talk on HMP on Sunday. Very excited. What's next?
Comic accurate is just what we use when we don't have the vocabulary to properly critique something.
I think there's an argument to be made for that statement, but I think you can definitely argue against that statement.
The Dark Knight trilogy, it is, and specifically the Dark Knight, he straight up murders the guy. Batman killing meant the Joker won. And there are plenty.
Why this color font? I can't even read it. I know it's green on white. All right, the claims the counter. Okay. God almighty. Comic accurate or selective outrage. Okay.
of Batman comic stories that challenges Bruce's rule of no killing, right? And this one puts that to the real means test. Where in Snyder's, he kills in The Dark Knight Returns, and so in my version, he kills too. And then narratively...
I don't even know what he's saying. I know he's speaking English, but does anyone understand this English? For the people that invented it, you guys are real mushmouth.
It's really important that he's killed.
Oh, but got a lot of mushy peas in my mouth, so I can't quite speak properly, so anyone knows what the hell I'm saying.
Killing, and then it's really important that he stops.
See, this is why I made a TikTok. Discussion and debate are my favorite parts of being a fan, and
not mine. Mine are yelling at people for being dumb.
This creator brought up some really good points, so I'm excited. And go watch his whole video because he makes more than one good point, but I think that this encapsulates his argument. Comparing Christian Bale's Batman and the killing of Harvey Dent to Ben Affleck's Batman and the indiscriminate killing of henchmen is a really good stress test.
Can we be honest and say that there hasn't actually been what I would call a truly definitive Batman on screen yet? Is that a wild statement? Because I think that no matter what Batman that you point at in what era, there are problems with it. Now, granted, there are great things within all of those things as well. Maybe not all of those things, Joel Schumacher. But none of them perfect. None of them that like really give you like the Batman feel. I think most people would probably say Dark Knight would be the closest contender there. And sure, but like, you know, let's be honest, as much as Dark Knight is a really great film and everything, you know what's not great? You know it's not really great in any of those in any of those Christian Bale Batmans? Batman costume. It's not very good. It's okay. It's fine. It's not, you know, it's not nipples on Batman, but it ain't good either. I would say probably the best Batman as far as like costume wise and everything definitely goes to Affleck. That one just, you know, that looks like Batman more than any of the rest of these fools does.
For my comic accurate premise. Now, like you said, the narrative necessity for Bale's Batman.
It's just the narrative necessities, the narrative necessities, the narrative necessities of life.
Killing is the culmination of the journey of that entire film. The Joker pushed Batman to break his one rule. And the
I'm going to push it and break that rule.
Essence of that journey is comic accurate, while Ben Affleck's portrayal is not. That's the counterclaim.
All right, listen, we all got to blame Zack Snyder. You and I know it. Come on.
My response to that is that they're the same.
Like my reaction to that, suck it.
Well, not the same, but equivalent. Now, at the end of The Dark Knight, we have a changed Batman who has just killed, he's broken his one rule, and he's running off into the darkness of the city. And now come over to Ben Affleck's Batman, and we're introduced to a Batman on the other side of that choice. This Batman had the same journey, and after the Joker killed someone they loved, they made the same choice.
Wasn't that just fun that we just get the whole Jason Todd story there in just one little kind of waste?
And we are just coming into it years after that. So if the Dark Knight's journey is using an understanding of the source material and adapting those elements to make something that is comic accurate, then Ben Affleck's Batman is using the same ingredients. Which brings me right back to my premise and my original statement that we as a community like one thing, so we call it comic accurate. But we as a community don't like this, so conveniently it's not comic accurate.
I don't know that I would go through and put the phrase comic accurate. That's neither here nor there to me. I'm either good or bad. It's either good or bad to me. It's not necessarily, you know, like for example, and we'll talk about it on the Fantastic Four review and everything. There's a lot of things in the movie that are very much parallel with the Fantastic Four and, you know, and many different iterations and stuff. And then there's stuff that's different, you know. And most of the stuff that's different ain't all that bad. So like, but I don't care about the comic accuracy so much as like the comic accuracy to me was like more like the just character stuff. Like in Fantastic Four, they got Johnny and Ben's like, relationship correct. They, everything about it was like the characters interacted with each other the way that they should.
I have waited my entire film career to be able to pull this move.
This guy is amazing. I wanted to, I'm going to do this. I saw this guy's TikTok and I was like, dude, I got to get in on this stuff because this dude is amazing. Wait till you see what this guy's done.
This is our movie. It just came out today for digital download or rentals. I'm also putting it up on the torrent networks, but I've added something to the very beginning.
Ahoy, matey! I'm Freddie Wong, and you're about to watch a pirated copy of World Gonna Die that I made. For in this day and age, it's impossible to prevent piracy, so if you can't beat them, join them. What you're about to watch is encoded off of the original 4K 10-bit 5.1 master files that we have.
Not 12-bit, Freddie? All right.
Made for the movie. So please, enjoy. And afterwards, if you're feeling like maybe throwing a little bit of lucre our way so that we can continue making movies, you can do so at ipiratedwe'reallgonadie.com. Thanks. Enjoy the movie.
Pay what you want for this JPEG.
How awesome is that? How cool is that? I mean, listen, we live in a world where you can't deny these things. But this guy put together a whole ass movie. Says, hey, if you want to download it, go right on ahead. But if you watch it and you enjoy it, how about you throw a little something our way? Big brain. I think I might do that. There was another. I feel like there was another one out there that had something similar to this as well. I'm going to keep a track on some of these bad boys and kind of follow up with some reviews and stuff. Good stuff.
I don't want to offend any cinephile letterboxed people.
Okay. Well, let's see what he's got. Hot movie take. Got a stash, so we're giving him a little bit of a break off the top.
People or anything like that, but some movies just aren't very good.
You say. That's it. It's just, hey, no offense taken there, my friend. If you've seen as many flicks as I have, you know that there are turd upon turd upon turd out there. Nothing you can do about it but kind of try to wade through them as best you can.
Visual effects built modern Hollywood. Now the industry behind it is becoming a disaster movie of its own. Hi, it's producer Patrick bringing you the latest in the ever-evolving film and TV
Hi, Patrick.
industry. In 2025, Technicolor Creative Studios, the visual effects giant behind The Jungle Book and The Lion King.
Hey, let's make a whole thing with animated lions that talk and just make them look like animated lions that barely move their mouths. And you're going, are they talking? Is this like Milo and Otis where we hear the voices, but they're not actually speaking out of their mouths or anything? You know, you didn't give the dogs some peanut butter, so they're one of those.
Collapsed. Hundreds of LA-based artists were laid off overnight, with no severance and no warning. And this isn't a one-off. Rhythm and Hughes won an Oscar for Life of Pi, then filed bankruptcy less than 2 weeks later. Digital Domain
that tiger didn't look real.
Went under while working on Ender's Game. So much groundbreaking work, as well as financial devastation. The economics of visual effects are fundamentally broken. Studios pit vendors against each other in a race to the bottom. The lowest bid wins the contract. Then, the studios pile on unpaid revisions, accelerated deadlines, and demands for
Look at this. Isn't that wild? You're like, fuck it. Just, I don't know. We'll figure this out in post.
perfection. In 2023, the writers and actors strike brought production to a halt. Visual effects artists were among the first to lose work, and for many, those jobs never returned. And now studios are investing in generative AI tools capable of creating digital environment backgrounds, actors, and even performances. And the goal is quite clear: cut costs, cut labor, and minimize human involvement. Visual effects help define the modern blockbuster, but unless the industry changes...
Which is hilarious because they've gotten nothing but worse looking. Special effects, for the most part, have gotten pretty crummy. I will say this, though, ladies and gentlemen. I saw a trailer for the new Avatar movie. That's how you do some special effects. Listen, the story might be garbage, but you look at it and you're like, damn, this CGI is really, really good. James Cameron makes sure he's got some top-notch stuff in there because, boy, oh boy, does he not skimp over there. Just from a visual perspective, that thing's going to be so worth watching, even if it does just give us another. But that said, Avatar 2 was way better than the first Avatar. So if they can, if they can make this Avatar better than the last one, that's even better, dude. But yeah, the special effects, like it's rough. There's so many of them. They're going for the bottom of the barrel, just trying to, get the cheapest stuff in there. And the worst part is that it shows a lot of times. Like Fantastic Four is pretty good, but there are a couple of moments in there I'm like, CGI could be a little better.
The artists responsible for that transformation may not be around to shape its future. As always, would love to hear your thoughts.
Thanks, Patrick.
Oh God, I don't have any favorites.
What is your favorite conspiracy theory? We might get in trouble with this. Chat, what's your favorite conspiracy theory? It's not a conspiracy theory per se. It's just a question. WTC 7. That's all I'll say there. That's one. I always, for the longest time, the hot dog buns coming in packages of 8 and hot dogs coming in packages of 10, hot dog buns coming in packages of 8, or vice versa, whichever that one was. That was a conspiracy for a good bit.
Deep state.
Yeah, well, that's,
That's not a conspiracy. That's a real ass thing. What are you talking about, homie?
No favorites. All the ones that.
Man, you should have come on. Now I got to be honest with you. Ari, you should have came with some answers on this one, bud. You should have figured this might be, something coming down your alley.
That are coming to mind will get me in trouble.
Oh, that's why I'm kind of keeping quiet on some of the ones that I got. I'm like, they ain't gonna ingratiate me to nobody.
So I will not say them.
Good move, smart move. Keep all your listen to everybody. Keep all your conspiracy theories to yourself. Number one, most people don't want to hear them. Number two, you don't want to get in trouble.
The biggest question that people have asked is about Jor-El and Lara's message.
Okay, so we were talking about this earlier. Let's see what we got.
Is it real? Has it been doctored? Is that the actual message?
How can someone not think it's real?
I'm just saying.
Well, because they've been decent characters throughout all of the history and everything, as far as I'm aware. And so, yeah, that would just, and it's comic books. People are doing dastardly stuff all the time. What are you talking about?
I don't understand. Like, we did this. So in the test screens, people were like, is it real? With AI, nobody trusts anything. Okay. In the movie, Mr. Terrific says, I know those computer forensics guys. There's no way. That's Mr. Terrific.
And if Mr. Terrific said it, then it definitely goes. Here's the thing, Jimmy. The audience that's watching this film, the majority of them have only met Mr. Terrific for however long he's been in this film. That's their exposure to Mr. Terrific at all forms. So you just going, well, Mr. Terrific said it. I don't know how much weight that holds with most folks. Just saying.
The smartest Lex Luthor. Then I have Maury, the Secretary of Defense, say, I think whatever you think about Luthor, but it's real. And then the clincher is that Gurkos and Lex are walking together.
Gurkos. Love those pickles.
Right.
And, Gurkos says, you doctored a message. This is great. And Lex says, it's not a message. It's not doctored. Right. It's real. And who thought his own parents would be the ones to bring him down?
Okay. We just clarified, just for the record. I just want to get it down.
James Gunn wants to jump across the table and choke this man, I think. Yeah. Or I'm going to beat the crap out of you once these cameras roll off.
Are there implications for this going forward, or have you dealt with this? I mean, do you imagine this being dealt with in future?
Are we going to attend Jor-El clan meetings is what he's asking?
Superman stories.
Honestly, I think he deals with it in this story pretty much. Yeah. I mean, I think that...
Yeah, exactly. This should be done right here, actually. They should not need a reference back to the home planet Krypton unless we're talking about Crypto Night.
This story, at the heart of it, is a story about a guy who's doing things he thinks for reasons outside of himself.
Yeah.
Comes to realize through the love of a parental figure, his father and mother.
And the dog.
That he is not doing things because of someone outside himself. He's doing things because of that's what he believes. It's not an outside force telling him what to do or what to think. He's doing it. It's not destiny.
I don't know. I think you can argue against that in a weird way, that like it technically was up until that point and whatnot. So I don't know if that holds water.
Right. It's his own choice.
But it's his own. Well, I mean, I guess you make it into that eventually. Well, that was worth it. All right.
One of the things that almost keeps me up at night about the human species that I've never really understood is how the Avatar Way of Water made over $2 billion.
Yeah, I agree. It's interesting. We just talked about Avatar here. Let's see where he's going.
Box office, because I saw it. I was in the cinema, but like, can you remember the last conversation you had about that movie?
No, you can't remember the last conversation you had about any of those movies. That was a long running slash film joke and whatnot, where Jeff Kanata was talking about how Avatar had a distinct, I forget how he said it, but like something along the lines of like a distinct, impact in cultural society or whatever. And the argument was like, no, it didn't. When's the last time people talked about that and stuff? And, Jeff was kind of always hyping up like, hey, this Avatar sequel is going to come in and we're all going to be proven wrong here. Everybody was saying the first Avatar was a flash in the pan and it'll all be forgotten. And when that second movie comes out, it's going to hit the dirt and everybody's going to start laughing and stuff. And sure shooting, we all watched that Avatar 2 movie and it was actually pretty decent and it made a ton of money because guess what? People saw it and they were like, hey, this actually isn't bad. This is better than the first one. And frankly, I think you could toss the first one or at least like cut the first one down to like 45-minute prologue or something like that. Because you don't need most of it. But it made money because it was better than the first one. And the first one made a boatload of money. That's why.
Because I can't, like, without Googling it right now, could you tell me any of the children's names in that movie?
Bleep, blurp, and glurp. Jason, and Herbert. Hell no. I know Jake Sully. Jake Sully. You got to know Jake Sully. You hit Jake Sully on the time, Jake Sully. So stupid.
The first Avatar made $3 billion, which I can kind of allow for.
Good Lord. What an unbelievable amount of money.
Right, it was a cultural moment. The technology was new. The 3D was a big part of it.
Mm-hmm. By the way, James Cameron, what you need to do before this Way of Water comes out in December, which is really, it's going to, or Fire Night, whatever the fuck we're calling it. James Cameron needs to say, hey, we need laser projectors in all theaters because otherwise I'm not sending you out Avatar, Ice and Fire and Water and all the things that we put in a cocktail, whatever the hell the movie's called. If we put that in theaters, we'll only show it on laser projectors. And he could do, because again, when Avatar came out, he said, I'm only putting Avatar out in DCP. So if you want to show Avatar, which he at the time said will be the highest grossing film of all time, he was correct. If you want to show this film that's going to be the biggest on all your screens and everything, those screens are going to need to be digital screens. And James Cameron is essentially the guy who got us switched over from 35 millimeter to all digital on account of that Avatar movie. So I think James Cameron could come in and say, hey, we just need all laser projectors. I'm only going to be able to put this new Avatar movie out on laser projectors. That way we can finally start getting theaters with upgraded projectors where we're not looking at a dark, blank, grungy, gross looking screen because someone hasn't changed the bulb in 6 months.
We'd never really seen anything like it, and it made sense, That came out in 2009. Avatar Way of Water came out in 22, so we're talking about 13 years later. The cultural moment has disappeared, and they go, hey, we're bringing it back. And everybody said the same thing. Well, why? Mm-hmm. Why? There's barely a legacy here. $2 billion.
And then it came in and kicked ass. Listen, I was as surprised as anybody. We talked about it on the podcast. I was not looking forward to this thing, but it was one of those deals. It's like, hey, you've got so many years in between everything. What could they possibly do? And it is James Cameron. And like James Cameron very often does, he can pull out of his hat at the last possible second here and really surprise you and go, wow, Good job, James Cameron. He's done it so many times before. Why would he not be able to do it again? As much as I've hated and questioned and thought that, his motives might be all over the place, the guy keeps delivering pretty decent movies, if not, outright good ones.
I was there. You were there. We were all there. I'm not a big fan of street interviews, but I honestly think that if I walked the streets of Leeds right now and I asked people, like, how many characters from the Avatar film series, from the entire series, can you name?
3. You got Jake Sully, you got Natiri, and you got the white kid named Spider that's got dreadlocks. My favorite part, and the kid that's called Spider doesn't drive the Spider-Mobile thing that they got. What the hell is that about?
I think they'd go Jake Sully, they might get Natiri, and then they're going to go Sigourney Weaver.
That's true. Sigourney Weaver, and then Giovanni Ribisi. He was a character in that movie. That was the character's name, Giovanni Ribisi.
They're gonna just say Sigourney Weaver's name. That dude from Dodgeball. The bad guy with the scar.
Yeah. Jeez, I'm trying to remember the actor's name. Feeling like a real butthole right now.
Maybe
Steven. Shit?
Michelle Rodriguez. Maybe Giovanni Ribisi. But they don't know their names as characters. They just know the actors. There's no way. There's no way. Mid-screening of The Way of Water, I'm like, who's that? Who's that?
You remember Michelle Rodriguez in that first Avatar movie? She was so out of place, dog.
Yeah, and my friend next to me was like, that's the son. That's the main son. This is going to end up being the highest grossing film series of all time, isn't it? My gosh.
For what reason, man? I don't know. James Cameron just puts out some pretty looking flicks and we just all go, that looks pretty. How's the story? Don't know. What's it about? I'll only see it 5 more times.
It's about time that we really started having a serious conversation about Ari Aster.
Wow. All right. Can we get Ari Aster in director's jail? The fall of Ari Aster. The stones on this man. Let's see where he's going.
He's officially just taken the gimmick way too far.
Well, a gimmick? What continuous gimmick has Ari Aster shown in his films over the years? And if you say being weird as the gimmick, I don't know that qualifies.
At this point, this man has one of the most interesting fall-offs I've ever seen.
Okay. So these are just the movies, but so there's not how is this a fall-off? Okay.
In any facet of life. I mean, this is the same.
I've got an inkling where he's going with this. Let's see if I'm correct.
Same guy who started off his feature film career with Hereditary, one of the best horror films of.
Okay. Yep. This is exactly what he's doing. He's mad. I can promise you this. This is what's going to happen. He's mad that Ari Aster's not doing horror films. He just wanted him to stick in his horror lane, and he's mad that he's not doing that. That's my guess.
All time, a true masterpiece. Truly one of the most horrifying, scariest films of all time with one of the most haunting endings I've ever seen. But damn good, man. This is truly a masterpiece in the horror genre. And then he follows that up the next year, back to back, with Midsommar. And whilst it didn't achieve the grand heights of Hereditary being a true masterpiece in its class, Midsommar truly stands on its own.
You see, again, it's because he's still good with it because Midsommar is horror adjacent. So he's still okay with it so far.
In the psychological thriller genre, it is one of the best pieces of film that lives in this genre with one of, if not the best performances delivered by Florence Pugh. And at this point,
I bet he's going to hate Beau is Afraid.
With back-to-back bangers in the horror and psychological thriller genres, you really thought Ari Aster was a master at work, especially within this genre, especially within the horror sphere. But
you see? This is a horror. It's got to be the horror, though.
Then In 2023, we get Beau is Afraid. Not only was this the return to the big screen of Ari Aster, but he was also teaming up with one of the best actors of all time in Joaquin Phoenix. This had all the ingredients to be absolutely spectacular.
But then it wasn't what I wanted, so I got mad.
My goodness, does it fall so flat of those expectations? It's
there you are, my friend. You said it yourself right there. It falls short of, you said the expectation, but what you meant was your expectations. It fell short of your expectations. And what you expected, it doesn't count. Sorry. You don't get to go into a movie and go like, I expect to be given this thing. No, you're given a certain thing and you can judge that thing. But you can't go into a movie and just be demanding what you're shown, because you can't. Because you can't. It's already been done. So you can't put in your mind like, well, I wanted to go see a Batman movie, but I, in my mind, wanted to see Batman played by a leopard. They didn't have Batman as a leopard, so I was pissed. Sounds dumb, doesn't it?
Actually impressive. A extremely long, extremely bloated, and convoluted.
Yeah, just because you didn't understand it doesn't mean it's bad. You gotta, that's it. And yeah, it's meant to be those things, but I can understand why people didn't like it. If you didn't like Beau is Afraid, I totally get it. You're wrong, but I get it.
Mess of a film. It involves the climax of the film literally being about a guy who just has blue balls. But you know what? Delivering us two absolute bangers with one real bad stinker, I thought he had some credit in the bank and was willing.
It's more about his mother. But maybe you didn't read into it like you were supposed to. And why he would do what he did.
To give him the benefit of the doubt. Just a creative difference that me and him had. I just didn't like the film.
A creative difference that the two of you had? When were you in on the creative process? What are you talking about? You could say you have different tastes, maybe? Putting yourself on the block, though, that's a wild one, man.
It is what it is. Bringing us to this year, the film that had just come out most recently.
It's also not a horror movie. Me no like not horror movie. Bad.
This week, and that is Eddington. Again, another project where he teams up with Joaquin Phoenix. Along with
Joaquin Phoenix, you say?
The likes of Pedro Pascal, Austin Butler, Michael Ward, and many others. A film that takes place in the height of the COVID era in
I like how Emma Stone got and others.
2020 in a small make-believe town called Eddington in New Mexico. Follows a bit of a backwards mayor and a want-to-do-good sheriff of the town who have extremely budding ideologies on either end of the spectrum. Pro-conspiracy, anti-conspiracy, pro-mask, anti-mask, all of that. Film that is trying to be extremely poignant and relevant. Oh my god, once again, I just find Ari Aster's films to be bloated messes.
I mean, they're long. They're long, but I wouldn't say they're bloated. I mean, Eddington is a long movie, but like it books along for as long as it is. So different cinema maturity levels, I suppose.
Guy has taken his gimmick way too far. He thinks he is a creative mastermind.
You called him a creative mastermind for two movies, and then when he switched to a genre that you didn't like, you started poo-pooing him. Shut up, dog.
Trying to shoehorn meaning, importance, and like
Oh no! Oh no! You're trying to put in meaning and importance and thoughts and ideas into your art. Gross, dude. Gross. Why would you do that? Ugh.
Liminal messaging into the most elementary of shots, elementary of ideas.
You're out of thoughts, dude. You're out of actual critiques here. It's like you the most elementary of shots. What the hell are you talking about? Shut up.
But trying to operate at a level of extreme elevation.
This is a guy who fancies himself an artist, 100%, or at least thinks that he's got like artistic endeavors that he wishes that he could do, but like, you know, it says like he would be able to do them all and do them all at a very high level and stuff. He just doesn't have the time.
Thinking that he is
got a regular job,
the smartest man in the room. You can literally feel him trying to
See, you got mad because you thought you were the smartest person in the room, and then when he says no, I am, then you got mad. Is that what happened?
Impose his ideologies onto you, but it just feels like he's doing it in the most snarky of ways.
He said things I don't like. Again, as I've always said, Eddington holds the mirror up to you. The only thing you're doing is looking back at your own reflection. How you feel about that movie is deep down, I think, how you feel about yourself.
Right here, man. Look how they massacred my boy. Joaquin Phoenix, please. I'm begging you, stop.
He kills this role, dude. He kills this role. It ends up as Rambo by the end, for crying out loud. Come on, man. It's wild.
Teaming up with Ari Aster. These two together just come off as like the two most like condescending pricks in history.
Somebody doesn't like himself. Doo-dah, doo-dah. Man, you must have been a real peach during COVID.
When they're making projects together. Please stop. Ari Aster, please stop. Can we get this man in director's jail, please?
I just want him to direct horror movies. Why aren't you directing horror movies? Listen, there are a lot of horror movie directors and stuff out there who, like, we'll take Eli Roth, for example. Eli Roth was always just like, listen, I am super happy to be the horror director. Now he's changed in the last couple of years, not for the better. But he was happy to be the horror guy and stuff like that. But a lot of the people that start in horror are starting there because it's easy to start. Genre work is easier to do because you can have a higher concept, a lower budget, and still be able to get stuff out there. For example, your Hereditary for $10 million, your Midsommar for $9 million. Now, Beau Was Afraid cost way too much money. Now, that didn't make any money back. But I don't know what Eddington. I feel like Eddington's got to make some money. Probably, I know it didn't cost no $30 million. Not like that. Not like Beau Was Afraid. That was way too much. You just mad, bud.
I finally watched Megan 2, and I can.
Okay, I've seen Megan 2 as well. What are these glasses? What are we doing here? What are we doing? Kid sister riding in the car today. What's happening?
Tell you why it flopped from the first frame. It says on the screen, somewhere on the Turkish-Iranian border, fans of Megan do not care about geopolitics.
That's not the reason, but okay.
They did not come to Megan 2 for geopolitics.
That was just basically a blanket for them to tell the story. I don't think that anyone was truly like, boy, I hope we're talking about world politics in Megan 2. I don't think that's how they were selling it either. Just
if Jason Blum had me on staff, I would have been like, this is not the one. He's not hired me, though, despite many numerous efforts of trying.
Well, what do you got to show, bud? A TikTok?
One of the biggest questions was, were we going to have trunks or we were going to not have trunks?
What's everybody's thought on the Superman trunks? Me, I'm a trunk. I'm a trunk man. I like the trunks. Do they look silly? Are they a little bit out of place? Are they odd? Yeah, but you know what? It's iconic. There is a level of iconography within Superman's outfit that I feel like the trunks is an integral part to that story. In a weird ass way, because we never talk about him. We never talk about his little belt or nothing like that. But I don't know. It's iconography, man. Does the Statue of Liberty not wear her crown?
Talked to Zack Snyder, who was like, I tried a billion different versions with the trunks, and I couldn't get there. And I was feeling exactly the same way. I went in with David. He tried in not trunks, and he tried in trunks.
And then I tried him without the trunks, if you know what I'm saying.
And I still was going to go with not trunks.
You wanted trunks in theory. You liked the idea of trunks.
Theoretically, I liked the idea of trunks because it's, Superman I grew up with.
But it's tough to pull off and have it not look dopey, and they almost do it in this movie.
The problem is they look kind of silly. You were looking for a way to make them look cool, or you were looking for a function.
See, because Christopher Reeves, his underwear way too big, way too high, and all that kind of stuff. Whereas on the other side of the spectrum, you got Brandon Routh's trunks and everything way too small. So you gotta hit that stride in the middle there. I think Corn Sweat hit it decent.
An explanation for having them.
Reason why they would be there, yeah.
And my thing was just maybe they're supposed to look a little silly. Maybe the reason he wears them is to look a little silly.
Look at my crotch. Look at my crotch. Look at my crotch.
basically to undermine how powerful he really is.
In this version of the DCU, everyone knows he's an alien. He shoots beams out of his eyes. He can.
So the underwear is like probably the least, crazy thing of all of it. He's shooting beams out of his eyes. Why are you worried about the underpants?
Blow things down with his breath. He's sort of this terrifying creature, but he really likes kids and human beings and people, and
and you show those people your underpants. That's what I know.
Wants kids not to be afraid of him. And
check out my underpants.
So that was the thing that made me decide to keep the trunks.
Charlie says, I'm going to go see Fantastic Four soon. I heard from a friend that Superman was better. We'll see. I think your mileage will vary, but for me personally, it's going to be a tough one. I do need to see them both again. Just from first little blush, though, I would say I'm going to eke out and give Fantastic Four the edge over Superman. And I like Superman. I really did. Thank you for the Mystery Science Theater 3000 riff. Of course. Who do you think I am over here? I got them all day long, baby. Do you know that they are knocking on the door of 20 years of riff tracks? 20 years. Crazy. I mean, like what the amount of movies and stuff that they've done, like eclipsed all the MST3K stuff like years ago. This is great. Okay. I didn't watch. I watched a couple of seconds of this, but somebody did an amazing job. And I think this is how we're ending out the night, everybody. Quentin Tarantino meets his 30-year-old self. So we have taken some interviews from Charlie Rose, and we're having Tarantino interview Tarantino. This is going to be good.
I have to say, it's great to be here. I've really been looking forward to this interview.
Yeah, well, thank you. It's very good to be back at this table.
Yeah. The table.
Look, last night I was working on a book about Sergio Corbucci.
Oh, yeah.
And it was the subtextual film criticism book. And
Well, I'm aware because I just read the book, and I
just read the book because I wrote the book. Okay. By the way, his Tarantino's Cinema Speculation book is fantastic. Pick it up. I can't wait for his next bit of cinema writing as well. Hope he keeps on that train.
actually fantasize about writing something like that someday. And when it comes to writing, I kind of know how to do it.
This is a good edit, man, because they're leaving in the right spots. They're going back and showing reaction shots and stuff like that, using little bits of audio. Very, very smart edit.
It's kind of easy.
Not really. Not really. Quentin, you have to understand, it's pretty challenging to take those blank pages and fill them up.
No. Not at all.
No.
By the way, I'm writing a little something for you in my next movie. Think you're going to like it. That's all I'm going to say about it.
Right now, I'm not really...
I ain't going to say anything. That's all I'm going to say, but you just wait. Be ready.
Look, I would love to work together. We've talked about it for years.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to be on a set, I want it to be my set. All right? Mm-hmm. And the only shot we're shooting is the shot I'm framing. I frame the shot. Me. Your job will be to hire talented people who can get the kind of quality that I want. And I don't want sloppy-ass crap.
Yeah. Look, I understand that. It's just like if you're dating and you say, what kind of woman do you want to fall in love with? All right.
How do you know that?
What an amazingly good edit. And we don't have Charlie like hopping over, Tarantino's voice. It's so good.
I'm just a man now. That's it. And I actually know mature women very well. And
no way.
No
Maybe
way.
someday I will, but not right now.
Listen, I know how to make movies be movies.
Yeah.
And it's something we both want to do together.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. It's like I want to write something,
You don't have to do that. I can do this. Me and a pen and a piece of paper.
Well, look at the character Jackie Brown. We did that together. completely, and it was very, very good.
Sure.
That's a sign. I want to do this. This is speaking to me.
Well, then we'll do it. And then it'll be magical.
Yes.
I mean, there is a reason why there's an excitement when we come together, because it is magical.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Very magical.
This was really exciting.
Loved it.
But also kind of shattering.
Oh, fantastic. Bravo, everybody. Bravo. That is it, everybody. We have we finally finished out the all the TikTok trash from Tuesday. Because boy, oh boy, was that I had so much stuff. But we'll have more TikTok trash Tuesdays on Tuesday. So come and check that out. I'll have a whole new batch of TikToks. We'll make fun of all of those people, call them a bunch of dirty babies, and see what happens from there. A guy named Stony Emswiller did this about 10 years ago. I don't know what any of that is. Oh yeah, I didn't mention it. Oh golly, I didn't mention it anywhere in the show stream, whatever the fuck this is. Hulk Hogan died, man. That's a sad old thing, but you know, at least we still got you know, Rocky 3. We still got Suburban Commando. We still got one of my favorite television shows, Trouble in Paradise. Wasn't that what it's called? Trouble in Paradise? Was it Thunder in Paradise? That's it. Thunder in Paradise, where all I remember from that is Hulk Hogan Speedboat. That's it. That's all it was. Hulk Hogan Speedboat. There was a long string of those movies in the television shows in the 90s where there were like, you know, shows like that. Like VIP was another one of those shows where they're just like, we just got some hot broads, and every now and then we throw in a Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan dying makes me want one thing very badly: the Suburban Commando on Blu-ray. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a Suburban Commando 4K at some point. That feels like one that might be on people's list. Certainly after his untimely passing and everything, I'm sure that'll probably start getting into the works a little bit quicker. Thunder in Paradise was a good show. So fun. See, exactly. Thunder in Paradise. Good stuff. It just like I remember Hulk Hogan's because we were dirty babies from the Southeast, right? So we were a WCW people for the most part. Now it's not to say that there weren't WWF kids out there. There certainly were. Most of those kids had satellite for whatever reason. I don't know that those two things necessarily correlated, but that seemed to be the case for me. But we were like a WCW family always and everything. And so, but then you always kind of were a little bit jealous at Hulk Hogan and stuff because of who he was and that kind of the level and status that dude was, even at that time, and being over at WWF, you're always kind of like, man, we never got anybody like, you know, as big as like Hulk Hogan or anything like that. So when Hulk Hogan went over to WCW, like that was a big thing. And then his giant heel turn as Hollywood Hulk Hogan, boy, what a saga that was at the time, man. Just seeing him go through, change everything, and then come in with like the black beard and all this bull crap, and him and like Scott and all the other and then the offset wolf pack, that the NWO wolf pack. So there was a different splinter group and everything. What a wild and crazy time the 90s were for wrestling and everything. But that was my era. And especially I'm going to shout out the best wrestling video game of all time. It's WCW versus NWO Nitro for the Nintendo 64. Best wrestling game ever. Come and fight me on it. You play that sucker on the 4-player 64, man, oh man, me and my brother and my cousins just played the ever-living hell out of that game, man. So, but big props to, Gremlins 2. We got to mention Gremlins 2. Wasn't Hulk Hogan in one of them Three Ninjas films? Wasn't he had Three Ninjas at Mega Mountain, something like that? I think he was in that one. Old Hulkster, man, had a hell of a career on him and everything, but 71 years young. That's a rough one, man. Between him and Ozzy and Theo Huxtable, The world is losing a lot of 80s icons lately. So knock on wood for the rest of you, I'll say. That is it, everybody. Thank you for hanging out tonight. Thank you for, again, being those awesome dirty babies, hitting that like and subscribe button and all that kind of good stuff. We really appreciate it. And please, 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 please join us here Sunday evening when we're going to be spoiling and talking all about the new Fantastic Four First Steps. I am so excited to talk about this with the boys because I like the movie. I like the movie. So spoiler alert for me, you're gonna see me like a movie a whole bunch. I am excited to talk about it with the boys. So do check that out over there on Sunday. That'll do it, everybody. Join us next time. Same bad time, same bad channel. Bye-bye.